So, I am just still thinking and 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 thinking. Because I experienced the typical American X-rated world starting at my age of 18, so that's 18, 19, there's my 2 years in college, then 20, 21, 4 years to a university degree, including my first job at Rocky Mountain High School. In that same year. So I'm thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking and thinking because Heather met me at around the age of 19, and Nita met me around the age of 21. Heather Athens Gibbons playing sexual curiosity after getting pregnant with her son. Her son. Sorry, it's just that Nita calls that son really, really gay and flamboyant. So I forget the sign for son and say daughter. Anyways, so Heather gets pregnant, has the kid, and that boyfriend breaks up with Heather, so then there's Heather wanting to try girl experiences sexually. And then later in years, Nita meets Heather, starts that relationship, both of them decision for their type of relationship. Journey, search for sexual experiences together. I told them about all that went wrong with my experiences dating because people took advantage of my being naive and new outside of a religious, conservative town. That focused more on higher education, success probabilities compared to kids to believe and search for marriage, wedding styles to dazzle a community. And I got involved with Idaho lower level, new to how much education is offered for LGBT education. I picked a good college for LGBT resources as a new beginner, but Twin Falls, the city, is not clean, is not a good area to raise kids. I explained a lot of these things to Heather and Nita, and both used their new membership and reasons telling me feeling stuck and tied down to old family religious ways. And explaining their level of past sexual preferences Nita, already really close to her 40s, and Heather close to her 30s. And that was finally told to me after knowing I was not there to judge them for explaining their Kenny, get down. Their past youthful decisions regarding relationship and sex. I felt gross getting involved with what they were looking for, but I believe that I have the right to prefer a relationship different from other people, and I am more careful with what other people that are new want from me. I experience forms of abuse when I know that another person knows more than me, and the relationship friend very friendly, and I trust that their experiences, their age, will provide me more wise additions to my life. That is my jumping leap of higher faith. Kenny, do you see where you have clawed and not paid attention multiple times? So, me wanting to become a better person to two women searching for a better new life is always a good goal. But I get stuck with the set dangers because of my young age. Both of them using their religious proper behavior to convince me time after time after time that I matter, that both of them are expressing to loneliness apart from wordy lustfulness for real friendship. With always beginning visits with really kind words and friendship feelings. Because those two are showing me the type of people both of them show everybody else in the community, city, from the area of Idaho, including friendships, family from other states. So it leaves me confused because all that religious background behavior becomes hypocritical and only at the times from me and still both of them expecting me to be ignorant and think that both of them are not wrongdoers, that are not bad people who lie to my face. And me staying in thought thinking that the only times they use a good experience, like offering to drive me to another place that's maybe 15 miles, 30 minutes, 40 minutes max, in time once in a while, only to cover up me thinking they're bad people, using those decisions to cover up tracks because I have always been very independent and cautious about other people's time, availability, and finances because I grew up poor and I grew up religious and I grew up making all the effort to have resources like a car and enough clothes for myself and enough food resources, all these things that would clarify independence and to offer service and community, because I experienced, it's called Honor Society. Honor Society. From middle school all the way to high school graduation, and making it to Dean's List during my experience in college, and a type of higher preference during my experience in university. So I have a lot of experience with offering time, resources, and my time providing space so that that other person feels first priority. And it's not only 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, 4 years of knowing a person. It's that I keep that friendship and it doesn't matter if there's a big gap of not visiting, because I know that life happens and we are all adults experiencing adult life, and when a friendship meetup happens again, it is a special time and it's an instant reconnect again. So I'm thinking and thinking and thinking, and at that time that I was more vulnerable physically and mentally because of a lot of things. A marriage that was abusive, another relationship that was abusive too. My first moment in time experiencing relationships with male men. Got one, you got two. And other of each of their friend groups. Or is it just the type of good behaved manners at the beginning to take advantage later in the area of west side of this big, amazing United States of America. Including not having resources to stay independent during legal procedures. And being told through words and aggressive or under the table behavior, me asking for help and me really bringing myself from embarrassment because of the level of independent and care preference for the other people. Giving and giving them, spoiling and it doesn't matter the age, young to oldest, with religious backgrounds or the top people when I am in serious need for help. It's such a big burden of responsibility, stress, because it's just one more thing to add to their life. And it ruins my supported perspective from all of them when I give and give and give and try my best to stay independent because I am aware of each of their tolerance level. Tolerance when they show me and tell me that they can experience become an experience of real patience from each person to me during the friendship hangouts and experiences, and love that I am both patient and tolerant with each individual, and that is what confuses me, my head, when I put aside my embarrassment and ask for help with real life at risk experiences, and I am let down, I am pushed away because I am this much of a burden with many years of the same words in my ear from people like my example of Heather, giving me the kind words, trust, that I have saved for those moments that I ask for help. But I am used only to bring their life excitement, partying, because I can provide new thoughts for new conversation from a higher level of education or information or perspective, and people like Heather and Nita feel like boring people and want that new self feeling of excitement. Both of them would prefer to let me down and keep me stuck than allow the state or other state, family, friends begin to know the type of people that both of them have become all these years. Here is a letter that I had asked Nita to write and send to me so it could help me when I gave official legal paperwork to the lawyer for immigration visa purposes, to explain my experience working here in the U.S. as a good interpreter, as a hired legal interpreter for various classes under a high school to elementary level of interpreting work for education. Experiencing different levels of community friendship. Words that I knew were meant for me to tell, words of example of myself and accepted as good behavior and friendship behavior to and from Nita. So here is an email. Here's an email that Nita had sent me. It explains the level of me being vulnerable for my life experiences here in the US, and not just being brave, but being open to American friendship at a deep level, and my experience searching for mature American experiences. For trust reasons, for morality, value in real life adult commodity, in school, in work, and finally in personal life. Very important 3 things. So here's an email. That email was sent to me during work hours. So in that email, Nita is explaining to me how brave of a individual I have become because I can trust to explain my childhood experiences, not having documentation before data. Plus, I can guess that all of you know it's part 6. So I open my life, my youth, to share, and all of this is private stuff that I felt I could trust Nita and they were important moments. And the reason I could trust her and people like Heather during those times were because I could talk in a more mature adult level of conversation. So it's not something that happened constantly. And Nita, on the curious side of things, wanted to tell me that I was a brave person, that that she felt touched and felt that I had a reason to be alive. Me, who has experienced not being documented here in the U.S. and help her a lot, and that means that her perspective from believing 100% that undocumented people are bad and lawbreakers and murderers, all these things, that I am a good exception, and she can believe that all people are not always awful people. She explaining her childhood experience in the state of Arizona. Arizona. Her family living close to the border, where her family had experiences seeing groups of illegal crossings and experiencing the anger and frustration and fear that a person who doesn't have documentation and is experiencing life here in the U.S. with nothing from another country, what type of behavior being pushed and cornered to then being thrown out potentially, what type of decisions for life saving situations look like. And that included a short story given to me from Nita, telling me about her extended family experiencing a death because an undocumented person murdered their family member. And I have obviously many feelings about those things, because to the emotional extent that I have experienced here in America, not only from undocumented people, but from American individuals murdering a not documented person. And there's no real difference when you have options to call for help. And you have one individual, not American, alone, and you have an American that has a background of resources here in their rights. And you have clear trends here in America for youth to adults wanting to become gangsters. Including rich families making underhanded approval trades to murder other people. So much of that included in everyday American news. The Twin Towers don't happen every month, every year. The bombs in Boston don't happen every month, every year, but Scottish redneck riots seem to happen all over America. Seems like every month. And I began to see a lot of news from the year 2014, and today is 2025. No, the news does not have 60% or higher murders and crimes from illegal, undocumented people. It's all American family, individuals and groups. I am not a murderer. I have picked a life of real government paper detainment and kept for up-to-date information. And all this time, beginning at age 3, have learned to accept education the same path as your children. But I have put effort to graduate high school, to graduate college, to graduate university, to include all my time working and provided to the American people outside of school hours to express high levels of morality, things that are good, and to later on use in high levels of religious service and sentimental self-mature growth to provide to each American from your child, now aged in their 40s, to your American child still in this year of 2025. In their 30s, I worked under a school district, so you're 15, 18, and to work under my own self-esteem and confidence, to not be outside working and being used under terms that look like slave behavior. That's not really the goal for a good American history, because I also learned a lot about American history that many of you here in the U.S. seem to easily forget. So all of this is a good representation of what I gave in explanation and emotion to Heather and Nita and other opportunist moments with mature ages, time in my life, only to be taken advantage of. From American children, adults, because we all age. It's not 2006. It's not 2014. It's not 2020. And we all age differently. So here is for Nita's family feeling that their uncle, their dad, did not receive American justice for losing his military pension during the time he broke his back. Is that equal level of hardships exchanged for that one life experience, not including LGBT, not including self-identity, well-being, health? And for other friendship moments of the scope Nita emailed me a message that I believe she needed to express more than just handing it to Heather. Says, "Hey honey, I love you and I miss you so much. This is just me venting out with this email. Y'all did say y'all needed a reason to understand earning the right to be seen as an individual here in America. Sorry, it doesn't only apply to American citizens. Anyways, that I work with, I hate how I look. I hate how I limit myself. The people I work with are so self-centered. They themselves are self-hating, and they take it out on other people. They are such narrow-minded. Beep, beep, beep. We got a text today from Jessica. Leave our students only because they are at school finals test exams. And we know they don't really use us, but we still need to stay. And still, there are interpreters that are leaving early. They don't care. You have one interpreter that has left early. Another one is trying to leave work so that they can go and file for licensing. And I am covering for that interpreter. Tomorrow is Friday, and you have another interpreter that is taking the day off. so many interpreters gone. Like, what the hell? Leaving all this work for us to cover. Where is the text showing everybody that we are all a team and need to help each other? To let people have breaks and take turns. Do you know that 3B is technically to be a team with Cynthia? Do you know that that schedule has been since the middle of February? You know that I have been in class 3 times scheduled to me and never including a team, but Cynthia sends me wherever she feels fit. Whenever that scheduled period is, and I go and take up wherever Cynthia tells me. Yet I am not a team player. Apparently, I am not valued for the changes that happen every day with me being moved around for different schedules in interpreting. The way that I look is disgusting and not attractive. Not just my weight, but my face as well. the hair doesn't help, and the weight I put on in my face it makes me look horrible. I am disgusted every time that I look in the mirror. I haven't looked in the mirror very unfoggy since 2 months. I have always waited until I get out of the shower and dressed, but now it just happens quickly. I just dress quickly as fast as possible, do my hair while I am still foggy while looking and same thing at the times that I use the restroom. I distract myself from looking at myself and I don't have to be confronted with myself. I am trapped at work at home, in my body, my uncontrollable emotions, work, I can't escape because I have no other skills that can get me another job, and a job that pays well. I mean, enough to support us. I dream of moving to another school district and never to see any of those guys again. There is no safety, not in this district, and no happiness. I cannot leave home because I am needed there. I use shopping and errands as short escapes. But they are never enough. Or I'll go to a friend's house but I can't enjoy it because I spend the whole time thinking to myself and how I hate how I look, or I hate how long I stay, and I want to leave, but I can't. I try to use summer jobs for escape, but it's different. It's still an entrapment. I sit I think at how jealous I am of people who are single with no kids, doing whatever, and I mean whatever the hell they want. While I think and I stew inside about how I have to choose between another summer job to ease the burden of bills, while I take the summer and I don't work, it's a never-ending twisting double-edged sword wherever, no matter which choice I make, there is always a sting my emotions are so unstable and I swing so widely that I never know what is going to happen from literally one moment to the next. I wake up happy and I think it's going to be a good day. Only to end up yelling at everyone. I hate the dogs. And I wish you would cheat on me. So we can finally break up. Or the next day, I wake up pissed. And end up crying all day. Because everything hurts. Everything hurts my feelings. I hate the swing. There's no euphoria. Only terror. I limit myself because I know my boundaries. But I hate the boundaries. The constant stopping of my life I feel everyone's so lucky. They have options and very little fear. Well, I have tons and tons of fear. fears that I can't explore because I have to put everyone else first. I was raised limits help us grow. They show us where the safety is. So we can be healthy and alive to continue to make more choices. Desire, boundaries, and desire to desire them. Boundaries keep you on a path. And you are less likely to fall. Yes, I agree to these. But I hate them. Limits keep me afraid. Boundaries block my chances at other options. I think that is my end to vent. if more could be added. That was a lot of intense emotions in that email. Very private feelings, emotions to be shared. For a built, strong friendship. So it seems, because that was sent to me year 2019. That's a long time ago. It's almost a history book. With a lot provided to me to keep, to understand in my heart the type of friend I am. Till later, like this year, to be dropped and ignored. Kindly at my time of most in need of help. And let's not forget the age difference and me still being the youngest. And well, Nita, Tilton Leneita Gibbons had another good, happy, more emotional, happy story to share with me. About a time she was pregnant with her first child, and she was very fit, style, life, running, trekking, but too thin to run trek while pregnant. At the very beginning of the first trimester. Very excited, very happy, content towards the pregnancy. But it was a lot. 3 days exercise, physical exercise for her weight. And that area had little food, limited food, with no hospital, in the intense Arizona heat. The temperature was a high 105. That stayed consistent every day. And they still needed Nita to be there for interpreting reasons. Her deaf sibling was going to be there, and Nita was to be her interpreter. If y'all don't know, sharing stories about presenting deaf family members to people that are not deaf community local members, that is very important, especially for a hearing sibling to show and talk about good times with their deaf siblings. Especially if that individual are interpreters and known around in the local community known for interpreting in deaf community life preference picks to respect the deaf individual and respect deaf community members that are living in the area. So they're not seen as sick people or stupid people. To be seen in a better light. So that email is similar emotionally to me opening up about my childhood experience, undocumented. It's very personal stories being sent to me at the young age of 21. Or 22. She lived 27 years in the community of LDS, Latter-day Saints. So she laughs because she's telling me she needs more than 6 years to evolve from her experiences in the LDS church. And I clearly was open about my family and my religious experience and our religious past. I'm not even done with more recent things because I have provided the happy times, building community, awareness, friendship, and levels of strength in friendship. In variety. Break time. I didn't think I'd have to record 7 videos, but whoa, here we go.